You got yourself a girlfriend, whatever. Things are going good. Chilling. All of a sudden she says, don't make plans for Friday. So and so and so and so coming over. So and so and so and so being her two friends, two girlfriends that she grew up with. You're thinking, what the fuck do? I don't want to meet this bitch's friends. You panicking. You be like, what if they fucking hate me and end up sabotaging me with this chick? But you don't gotta worry about all that.
Now, have you ever sat there and wondered to yourself, nah, I don't mind meeting a girl's friends, but I just don't want to be beckoned to be held to the standard of, your friends, because I don't know your friends. Technically speaking, your friends could be some ain't shit bitches, they could be losers, judging me. Meanwhile, I'm here on my best behavior. Now, girls' parents, that's different. The girl's parents, I meet a girl's parents, I'll be respectful. And her friends, too. But today we're going to talk about how to deal with meeting a girl's friends, including how to win them over and just how to deal with bullshit, too. Because guess what? Sometimes you're not always going to be able to win them over. Sometimes her friend is going to be a cunt. And she's going to hate you. So today we're talking about it. And today we have a special guest. Also known as, what do I call you?
My name is Kat.
And today we have a special guest, and her name is Kat. Introduce yourself, Kat.
You already did it for me.
Okay, I did it for her.
My name is Kat.
Anyway, so let's cut to the chase. So, bro, what's the story of a time where you had to meet a girl's friends? Maybe you won them over, or maybe you just ended up hating their fucking guts?
Yeah, man, I was actually in a long-term relationship with this girl, and she had a friend named Maria. This girl, Maria, was the most insufferable cunt I have ever met in my life up to that point.
Wow.
Yeah, she was all around, all kinds of fucking horrible. And I got some stories to tell about her that connect to other things, man, and we'll get into that later. But as of now, let's just say...
She was her best friend?
Yeah, she was her best friend. They grew up together. They lived in the same house.
Yeah, so you
her dad was the landlord of the fucking place. And
they're like attached by
my girlfriend lived above her, so they grew up together.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can say that all girls have a level of bitchiness about them, But this girl, man, I don't know. She was just like one of those. Imagine those fucking banged, short hair white ladies that be calling the manager on you and shit like that. Like, this girl just exhibited that energy all the time, yo. She had that fucking dry pussy energy, feel me?
At a young age. That's a shame.
Yeah, she was I mean, I think she was a year older than me.
Was she let's be honest, was she ugly?
Yeah, she was a 6 at best.
Do you think that possibly maybe she just was hating?
Because my chick was bad?
Maybe she was just naturally like that.
I don't know, man, because at the same time though, she was like a total bitch to her man. And I'm gonna get into that, but she was a total bitch to her man, and it seemed pretty universal. It wasn't just to me.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Delve a little deeper,
You're talking about Michelle's friend.
Yeah, I'm talking about Michelle's friend.
Yeah, I remember
Absolutely,
her.
yo, man.
Yeah, she seemed like a bum ass bitch.
Yeah, you met her, so. But, anyways, she found it really hard to hate me though, man, because I just don't be fake. So there's nothing that she could exploit out of me on some, you know what I'm saying, on some sabotage me type shit or badmouth me, because I'm just never fake. I never play a character. So the same fucking nigga I was with Michelle was the same nigga I was when she was around. Like, what can she really, call me out on? Feel me? So if you just fucking don't be fake, be yourself. Don't ever feel like you gotta play the performing monkey for her friends, bro. Because if the bitch got some ulterior shit or some, that ain't gonna fucking work, feel me? So she already has that little fire within her to be a cunt. So don't,
Yeah. Like, you could win a chick's friends over. I don't mind meeting a chick's friends once or twice. Just to see how, because you should see how a chick is with around her friends. It's important to see how she really is, not just around you. And when she's happy around you, you want to see how much she reacts to her friends and who her friends are. Because if she's hanging out with a thought superhero crew, then you can't just look at her and just be like, well, she's just the one snowflake in the group. The reality is that's probably not the fucking case. So now when you meet chicks' friends, you should play cool. You should just meet them, and you should almost, I wouldn't say run game on their friends, but it's almost, you got to have that same energy of just good eye contact, good energy, being playful, but it's just obviously not crossing any lines. But here's the thing, though. After a certain amount of time, if you don't want to do certain things, you shouldn't feel, a societal pressure to do so. Like, you shouldn't feel the need to hang out with some chicks' best friend's boyfriend. Maybe that dude's a goofball. You don't want to sit around talking about what he's saying, or you just don't want to play that role. It's her friends, ultimately, not your friends. That doesn't mean you can't, hang out with them and be cordial, but at the end of the day, fuck them goofy hoes. I don't know them. You know them. They might be cool. If they're cool, then they're cool. But a lot of times, let's be honest, if you really give off that appearance like you are that motherfucker, a lot of chicks' friends don't even take kindly to that. Like, they want you to play this image of the good guy and all this type of shit. And it's like, I'm not gonna bend to the will of you. Who are you, lady? I don't know you. What have you accomplished in your life that I'm supposed to sit here? Matter of fact, when bitches when I meet chicks that juice dates, I ask them, I look them dead square in the face and I say, what are your intentions with my best friend? You gotta flip it on these bitches, man. You can't be over here hard pressed all the time, especially around groups of people. Play to the crowd, but ultimately, have your balls in your hands, man, and not in anyone else's.
You got any stories about meeting a chick's friends in the past? It doesn't have to be a horror story, man. Sometimes a chick's friends be kind of cool. So, I've met some chicks friends that turned out to be, we just vibed all the time whenever we chill, because they were pretty chill about shit.
Like one.
Okay, for example.
Let's hear it, folks.
This is not even a fucking. This isn't even a perk for me. This is a perk for my friend, and sometimes it's not only like how chicks friends treats you, it's how they treat your friends, or like how your girlfriend treats your friends, or your chick treats your friends. So I had this chick, whatever, we weren't dating or whatever, but we was fucking around.
Yeah.
And this chick was kind of wild. I was kind of young, so we couldn't just like go to her place. I could have smashed her out in her place. So she had this friend that had like a lot of freedom, and she had her own floor in her fucking house to herself, and her room had 2 beds. So she's like, yo, let's go to my friend's house and fuck. And I'm like, yo, I'm fucking with it, but
is she cool?
Yeah. First I asked, is she cool? And second I asked, can I bring my boy? And he should remain anonymous, because this isn't going to go good, folks.
The story didn't end well for him on his end as far as trying to bag the other chick. For those of you who are wondering.
I went to this chick's house, and
she was story, man.
She was so with it. Like, she just needed the proper fucking push. She was a fun chick. We was just there taking back a couple of shots and shit, and like blasting like throwback music videos that we remember from when we were growing up. It was just a chill vibe. She was so baggable, and my friend blew it. But the point of the story is, though,
how'd he blow it?
Because he
wasn't smooth.
He was like, he was scared to talk to her. That's one, and he took her playful banter as like I don't challenge. Like you. Yeah, like he was like, oh, this chick doesn't like me. So he shut down, and he couldn't take the pressure. Like, it was so easy, but he couldn't. For some reason, he was so stuck in his simp ways that
he just stuck in his head. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in his own head. He was nervous. He was trying to play the role, like I talked about earlier. He was like trying to like play to what she likes, and it just didn't like. He ended up fucking just. She was in the same bed with him. There was 2 beds in this room, and I was smashing my chick, and she was in the same bed with him over there and everything, trying to have a conversation with him, and he still couldn't pull the trigger.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You smashing this other chick in the same room.
In the same room, yeah.
Across in the corner.
Across, there's another bed. Like, there's about 10 feet away to the left, there was another bed that they were both laying on. They were both on that fucking bed. And, like, the computer was in the middle. That's where she was putting music on and all that shit. And at one point, we was all in the same bed at one point, right? But then my chick was like, yo, I came here for a reason. Let's go fuck whatever. And I'm like, all right. So we went to the other bed, and I started, fucking this chick. And I'm like, I saw that as the golden opportunity for my boy to be like, all right, let me, things are happening. Let me fucking, this chick's already halfway there. Let me just take it the rest of the way. And he couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, especially when a girl's like around another girl who's doing that shit. Yo, it kind of like frees the other one. Like, okay, I can be free of judgment now. Like, I don't.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be getting judged.
Not only that, but this is like one of the like lighter points about meeting a girl's friends. Sometimes your girl fucks with you so much that when she talks about you to her friends, she gives you mad fucking props, or she speaks OD good things about you. So off the strength of you, sometimes your boys could get in it. You know what I'm talking about, with her friends.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they build you up so much that your friends get some fucking residual fucking swag off of that shit.
And if you have a dope ass wingman like one of us, we will also hype you up, as opposed to a lot of goofy motherfuckers out here who do the opposite, where they, they'll trash on their own homies in front of chicks, especially like new chicks. Like, oh, they're cool, and then some chicks' friends come, and now they're trying to play to the crowd by making their own friend the butt of the joke, which all bitches just notice. In fact, have you noticed some shit like that before, Kat? Have you seen?
Oh, you already know. I always tell you this story. Back in high school, there was this, hung out with a group of people. And there was always this one guy. Whenever some bad chick would walk in the room or whatever, he would start acting up. He would start joking and talking shit about his friends and just being mad extra, always extra. And everybody would always point it out to him, and they would just like make it a point to be like, why the fuck are you acting like that now? You be normal as fuck when there aren't bitches around, but the minute a bitch comes, you want to act the fool. Like, you.
Did he deny it? Was he like, what
yeah, he always played stupid. Always. Oh, thank you. He had a stupid face, and his voice would get high.
Ultimate coon.
Get high, and it was just, I can't.
You hear that, folks?
I can't.
Don't kiss
straight from
ass.
the beast's mouth.
Exactly.
They're letting you know right here in the Unleashed podcast.
The more proof
all the chicks
would
notice. Even the chicks would be like, yo, I would tell him like, yo, well, like, why are you doing this shit right now? Like, why are you doing this? You don't act like this. You don't.
And the shit that kills me is the girl that's getting flattered. She'll just let the dude make an ass of himself. She'll know, but she just won't say nothing.
She'll definitely
like, she won't embarrass him. She just will just be like, haha, yeah, and just let him make an ass of himself and all his friends.
But the point is that you should never be on some nervous shit, because her friends could probably be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? That same example, the chick, my chick's friend was ready to fucking fuck my boy, but he just couldn't take it all the way.
That's true, man. She provided a crib, and she was willing to meet the friend, and she was just not judgmental. You really couldn't ask for more, and she said she was hot, right? So
yeah, she was a baddie, and they were from the same place. They were both Guyanese.
Jesus. Damn.
So it was just like, yo, man.
That shit was like a freebie.
Yeah, he missed
like Shaq at the free throw line. Yeah. He just missed the fuck out of that.
Absolutely, yo, fucking tragedy.
But let's not rag on. I'm sure he felt the pain as much as you did in that moment.
Yeah, I don't like to, not everybody's on that level, but at the same time, man, if he would have heard this fucking podcast and he would have heard, yo, Don't play the fucking coon role, or don't you know, don't be like a nervous wreck. Like they're just human. Why would they, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like my boy said, like, who the fuck are you to judge me?
A lot of times I feel like it's an ego thing too, with a lot of like intellectual type of dudes, or even just dudes in general. Like I had a friend who, he was very prideful. Like he wouldn't let girls bitch him out, but it was almost to the point where it was like too much, to where he would be defensive. Where like there's been times where my chick's friend, who was a chick, would be joking around with him, and I could tell he would be kind of defensive, and he would just be ready at any moment to be like, yo, fuck this bitch, look, get the fuck out of here, fuck these bitches. Like, and I'd just be like, yo, bro, she just fucking around with you. Like, you could bag this chick. You don't gotta get like in your fucking feelings and shit.
Oh shit, that's so.
A lot of time I feel like, yeah, it's that defensiveness to just like,
it's just like counterproductive. Like, don't always think like, oh man, this chick's gonna be a fucking cunt, blah blah blah. Like, just start off with a clean slate and just adapt to what she is. If she ends up being a cunt, then what you do is like, you play it cool. Don't let her fucking get under your skin and take you out of your character. Just, you know, be a fucking man. Keep your poker face on. And don't coon. Don't play the role.
Yeah, here's what you do. You gotta get a homie that's cool and down with shit, that doesn't have a huge ego. You know, the type of homie where it's like he could get rejected from you and doesn't have to feel like he has to bullshit about it. Like, y'all both can get rejected. Y'all can go through the ups and downs, bag bitches together, whatever the case is, and he'll just be down. And then in those situations, you can just be like, you can just basically talk to the chick and be like, oh, yo, I have a friend. These dudes, like, if it wasn't for me, I would say he's the sexiest nigga on earth. So you should meet him. You should meet him. I mean, only thing I would say is like, what would be your intentions with my friend? At that point, it would just be a joke or whatever. But once you just bring that up, it's just the perfect, because come on, it ain't gonna be that fun trying to distract the bitch's friends all the time. It helps to have a boy there. Just as long as she ain't ugly, that's pretty fucked up. If you set your mans up for that fall, man.
I mean, sometimes gotta jump on the grenade, my man.
I knew he was gonna say it.
Sometimes you gotta take a grenade. I've taken a grenade.
The Jersey Shore reference.
Oh man,
I've taken a grenade before, bro. Man. I've jumped on one before. We've all done it. Even the players of players, the most.
If you're a true professional wingman, you know, a true bro, you'll at least talk to a fat bitch for a couple minutes. It's not gonna be the end of the world, guy. You don't gotta look cool all the time. And hey man, sometimes old chicks will be chilling and then some vapid pretty bitch.
Exactly.
You might end up just being like, fuck it. She might end up having a connection just in life in general, and it might not even have to be that type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna fucking take advantage of the situation and ask you, Kat, give us some insider information, man. When one of your friends asks you to meet her boyfriend, what exactly, like, what's your angle with it? Like, what angle do you take? Oh, you know, or even if you're like, you know, a little unique in your own regard, what are some things that you see with your girlfriends when they meet each other's boyfriends, or mess arounds, or whatever? Like, what angle do girls usually take?
Well, ultimately, the girl is looking at her friends for their impressions on the guy. They're probably still unsure, maybe, or they're like, you know, they're thinking about it or whatever. It's their, you know, their friends' opinions and their family is very important to them. You know, they care a lot about those opinions.
Like
so ultimately, I think also the friends know this. They know that they have this power, and some friends they could take advantage of that shit. I know people
like
who've
how?
taken advantage of that. Like, if they know their friend has a guy that's interested in them, right, or whatnot, they'll try to take advantage and see, like, hey, well, like, can I get a drink too, or can I get food too, and shit like that. They'll try to, like, you know, like, weasel their way into shit like that. They'll try to get free meals and free stuff.
They're trying to piggyback gold dig. That shit is crazy.
It's kind of brilliant too, because it's like,
say, hey,
the guy look like a dickhead,
like, wow.
if he's like, what the fuck, like, bitch, no.
That's a fact.
But yeah, I've seen that happen, and it's fucking crazy to me, but it does happen. And you
that
just
guy?
gotta be aware.
Be careful out there, fellas.
It's because, you know, you can be nice, but don't be too nice and too giving, so upfront, like when you meet someone.
There's some snake chicks out there, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Plus, like once it, his thing early on, her friend's opinion, it can play an effect. They can make shit harder for you. They definitely can.
Definitely.
But once the chick is really down for you, that bitch's friends
Then it
don't
doesn't
mean
matter
shit.
anymore. Yeah. It really doesn't.
Unless she's just really caught up in a certain just structured life where she really like every weekend she's like, oh my god, where are we going out tonight, guys? And like she's so in her social circle or just life where it's like that type of chick, she just worships like that. Without her friends, she feels lost. She's
Or
been so
maybe the
accustomed to it
fucking-
for so long.
Maybe your chick is some fucking religious chick and like she's so built in her ways with her shit that you never know. Like if her friend is some church girl also, she'd be like, oh, he's a heathen or some shit. Yeah, like some crazy shit like that. But you should always stay away from those chicks anyway. Them chicks are fucking
God's
crazy.
judging you too. It's not just.
What bitches you know go to church and mean it?
Talk about it, man.
I don't know no bitches going to church unless they old and washed up and they trying to make up for all the years of dying in their younger years.
I work near like 4 or 5 churches. I work in a very black neighborhood, so there's a lot of Baptist type churches, and there's actually other kinds of churches. But basically all
definitely
Christians.
more southern.
And
in the south is definitely a lot more of that.
Yeah, and there's been some young girls in there that they grow up in the church because their family goes to church. So a lot of the times it's just like that's where that comes from. It doesn't really come with like girls trying to get litty like, oh, I'm gonna go to church this week, and it's like she grew up in the church with her family, taking her every Sunday or whatever. So in those situations, if she has some church family, because what I've noticed is a lot with the people that used to come in from the church, like their church friends were like, is like second family basically. So if a chick is set in her beliefs, it's hard, but I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know, like, if you just fucking, she's gonna think you're Satan or some shit. You try to like take her away from the church or some shit like that. Or I don't know what your beliefs are. It doesn't really matter what your beliefs are, but at the end of the day, girls are girls. So if you're a litty ass dude and you know what you're doing, I don't think her friend's opinion would be too much of a factor at the end of the day.
You just gotta be like, listen, I understand your friend pray to Jesus every night, but she just needs to know that her friend needs this D right now. And if you want to save her, I'll just let you know that you can't save her, man, because she don't want to be saved.
I know this is a very niche situation, but this is what we do, yo. We get into we want to make sure that we thinking about everybody, man. We thinking about the dude who bags chicks at the fucking horrible place to bag chicks, which is the club, and the nigga who fucking meets chicks somewhere and ended up, being a church girl. Or
I don't think the club is a horrible place to meet chicks. I just think the club is a place to meet horrible chicks.
Exactly.
It makes sense, guys. Just listen over it again.
Did you give us an experience with meeting girls' friends?
I haven't, man. You guys have...
Yeah. Come on, Jin.
It's hard for me to follow up, man. All these good stories. What can I... It's too much pressure. Alright, I got a story for y'all. Let me see if I could pull something out of my bag of nightmares. I mean, experiences. Okay, so what I notice is, like, a lot of times when you meet a girl, it's friends. A lot of times if you act... I've tried all types of shit. I've tried acting like I don't give a fuck, I'm the shit. Other times I try to act like really good energy, winning the friends over. Other times I just try to be super neutral, like professional, like hi, blah, not like fucking super duper professional, but more neutral, you know what I mean? Not like trying to be too playful, just kind of being respectful and whatnot.
Fucking rowdy funny guy, not the rowdy funny guy.
And I noticed that kind of experience doesn't rub you off wrong, but a lot of times like chicks are energy, so even with their friends it's almost like you have to run game with their friends to a certain extent. I said this shit earlier, but yeah, like when you talk to a chick's friends, when you're really, really blank and neutral, it's like you're not really going to be memorable. They're not going to be like, oh my God, he's the greatest ever. But if you act like you're the shit, sometimes it could rub bitchy chicks the wrong way, which I've done many times, a lot of times, including not just chicks' friends, like chicks' older sisters. And maybe they were right to some extent. But at the same time, a lot of the chicks who didn't like me, they themselves were like bitchy ass chicks. So it's like, I'm not really surprised. A lot of times chicks, they'll find a dude if his character seems like he's the shit, but if she's not attracted to him or she don't see him like in that light, she'll be like, oh, he's a dick. But if another dude's the same way, but she happens to like that dude, he's not a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all like perspective. So ultimately, you can't let it get under your skin. And I kind of skipped over the story, so I'll tell you guys a story. One time I met a girl. Let's just say her name was Jenny. Jenny had a friend, and her friend was just yuppie as fuck and bougie as fuck. And she would look down at me all the time. All the fucking time. And she was just one of those self-hating, half Asian chicks. Just, I don't even need to say it. Just a goofy, cornball ass bitch. I can't put it in words other than saying she was a lame chick. Now I know I sound biased because she probably hated my guts too. But the difference is, I really hated that bitch's guts. Like, I really, really hated that. Like, that bitch can't even understand how much I hated her. Like, if that bitch got ran over by a truck today, I would carry this bitch's casket.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
That's it. Nah, I'm just kidding, y'all. I would be the nigga putting the dirt right on this bitch's forehead.
Nah, but what did she do exactly? Like,
Yeah,
what?
the story.
What? Like, what?
I just don't like chicks who smile in your face and then talk shit behind your back. Like, if you don't like me, I've had chicks friends where they don't like me and they just will make it clear that they don't like me. I actually respect that. Like, I respect the fact that you could be like, I don't like you or whatever the fucking case is.
Exactly.
When you smile in my face and then you talking mad shit behind my back, I just dislike that.
Yo, matter of fact,
That's very true.
like, I did mention earlier that I was gonna fucking air out this chick, Maria. So basically, she had a boyfriend. This dude was mad cool. He was an Ecuadorian kid, you know. He was around our age. He was I think he was like a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
And this dude was mad cool. He was mad chill. But the problem was that my boy was a simp. This dude would simp out to this chick all the fucking time. And he had that wooby bear like fucking relationship with this girl.
Yeah, like,
with this girl Maria. Yeah.
Type
He
shit.
was playing the hubby role and, you know, doing the whole, you know, beautiful monogamous thing with this girl. So she had his fucking balls in a vice grip. And she was one of those people who was mad holier than thou and like mad low-key judgmental, like you were just mentioning right now. Like one of those people who's like real, they have a real bitchy attitude and they feel like they're better than you. And when like she would kind of like call me a flirty player, you know, behind my back and shit like that to my girl at the time and shit like that.
Yeah.
And the irony, the fucking funny, fucking unbelievable part of the situation is that she was cheating on my simp mans. She was cheating on this kid. Like, she ended up cheating on him eventually. After playing that whole holier than thou fucking act and all this shit, she ended up fucking cheating on him anyways. And after I was being called Mr. Player type, blah, 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 and getting shit on, she ended up doing the same shit to her man. So, never fucking, like, don't... That's why I don't feel the need to fucking kiss ass and do backflips.
Yeah, because when someone goes out of their way to be negative, it's like, dude, you're probably not a positive person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on some negative shit right now. So I very much doubt that you're some positive person with a closet empty. Yeah, that's it.
So don't be fake. Don't be negative, because her friends might be cool. You never know. And keep in mind that don't let a girl's friends exploit you either, because there could be some conniving bitches out there.
Yeah, I used to think of it like this. Like, if a chick had a big group of friends, I would just be, especially if they were couples. And a lot of times, I didn't like those situations because I felt like there's couples. There's like, I'm talking about big groups. There's like 8 people or whatever the fuck, 8 to 12 people. There's a bunch of couples and shit. Yeah. It's like there dudes there, but you don't know those dudes. I don't know if you had a daddy in your life. You might be, you might have as much fortitude as a fucking cardboard box that's been out in the rain all night. You know what I mean? You just pick you up and you crumple in my fucking hands, man. So I wouldn't really feel comfortable in a lot of situations because I'm like, dude, I could be saying some shit and this nigga could go and snitch to his girlfriend who snitches to some other girl. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not with any of that shit. He could be a
fucking spineless fucking cuck.
Yeah, exactly. And I would just always still feel like if there's any kind of moral judgment, I'm not buying that shit because I guarantee if there's a room full of like 10 people, probably like half the niggas have cheated on somebody in a relationship, especially the bitches. More. So it's like, or more, and that's me being objective because I know it's probably more. So it's like, I don't want to hear shit from none of you niggas.
Exactly. I don't even like the term cheating anyway because the only reason cheating is even a concept and cheating is even called a thing is because we're too ashamed to fuck with other people, so we always have to hide it. If we were just out in the open since the beginning about this shit, it wouldn't be cheating. It would just be...
Let's call it lying. The bitch is sitting there trying to be moral, but she lying.
Exactly.
There you go. You're not moral. You a piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm about to Spartan kick you into some Mortal Kombat spike space. Get the fuck out of here.
Hypocrites abound, man. Hypocrites. Any last thoughts, guys?
Walking in with an open mind. We're not here to try to scare the shit out of you and put you on the defensive, even though you probably should be. But just walk in there with an open mind because she could be cool. And if she's cool, try to hook one of your homies up. Don't always think about yourself, man. Look out for situations and opportunities that present themselves. And maybe not even a homie. Maybe she's just a cool chick and she has a hookup for a job for one of your homies. It could be a million different things. Go into the situation with an open mind. But remember, your balls are yours, man, and yours alone.
And be vigilant. Pay attention to her friends and how they act, because it could be a fucking view into like any toxic fucking shit that your girlfriend might have or whatever your chick might have. So pay attention, watch closely, and just soak up game.
Yeah, for sure, yo. And I'd like to thank our special guest, Kat. Let's give it up.
Thanks for coming, Kat.
Thank you for having me.
She went through the ringer.
Thank you for having me.
So with that being said, guys, unleash your best, and until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace.